Yeah, dude. How are you? Hi.
Hey, what's up, man? I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's been a fucking long time, man. Nice to
It,
see you.
yeah, nice to see you. I think the last time I saw you in person was when we were on tour and we hopped on one of your shows with Nina Diaz, like real last minute in
I remember that.
Indianapolis, I believe.
I remember that. That was really cool. That was a fucking cool show too, because it was like a really small venue, and or like it was like really like tight, but there were a ton of people there, and they
Yeah.
had like band after band. That was a really good show on the tour. I remember like wondering how it was going to be when we walked in, because we like there was a band checking in. You guys were outside. We were like all hanging out because we were just kind of like, hey, we know you.
Yeah, man. So on that tour, we were looking on Facebook because some of the shows dropped or we just needed to pick up something and we messaged the people that booked y'all and they're like, yeah, you could play. And I think we played really late, like
Right
after
on.
y'all, but really, really late after y'all.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. It's such a small world. Like, do you see somebody that you know from like thousands of miles away, and you're like, "Hey,
Yeah.
we're here. We're here."
Yeah, man. We'll start off. My first question I ask everybody is, when did you know music was going to be a part of your life?
Um. Okay, so like, I guess like the traditional like music's always kind of been a big thing,
Mhm.
but if I like, it's like really nerdy, right? When I was a kid, I remember watching Back to the Future when I was like really little, and like when I saw him do the whole like freaking Johnny Be Good thing on stage, I was like, oh my god, I want to play guitar on stage. Like I didn't know the difference between guitar and bass. I just was like a little kid, and I was like, oh my god, like he's all jumping around and like crawling on his back and stuff. I was just like, oh dude, that right there, that's so freaking cool. Like I'm sure that probably a lot of people in my generation have that Marty McFly. Like that guy was a badass. So that was probably one of the earliest moments that I can remember.
That's badass. It's cool that you can really link it to one particular moment. So when did you start picking up an instrument?
Um, my mom played, so my mom tried to get me to like play a little bit of guitar when I was a kid,
Mhm.
but I was a slacker and I didn't want to do that. I played a little bit of piano when I was homeschooled, so like part of the curriculum was like music and stuff, and I would do a little bit of piano, but it wasn't like something that I would really like tackle to where I actually learned to play piano. But when I started getting into playing, I was probably 12, and I took my mom's guitar and just started kind of messing around on an acoustic guitar. Um, and I'd always kind of gravitated towards the low end. You know what I mean? Like I'd hear songs and I'd just be like just kind of hear that like the groove, and I would just kind of like gravitate in that area. And when I think I was like 15, my mom bought me a bass as like a what's the right word? She was trying to get me to go to school because I didn't want to go to school. And
Mhm.
she was like, I'll buy you a bass if you go to school. And I was like, of course, yeah, yeah. Why would I not go to school if you're gonna buy me a bass? So we went to Guitar Center and I picked out this like it was LTD B I think it was a B204. It was kind of metal looking. The LTDs had that like I was like a little metalhead, like kind of I was metalhead and then like punk and goth as a kid. And I was like kind of like very I started getting a little bit like, I guess, more extravagant looking. I started like wearing like platform shoes and spiking my hair up and wearing vinyl pants and just like real. I like the look. Like
Yeah.
I wanted a warlock, but they didn't have the warlock. She was like, we can't spend that much money on you playing bass. You're gonna get this is what you're gonna get. And I was
Yeah.
so excited. And I went to school for like 3 days, and then I just didn't go back. But I played bass for fucking ever. That's cool.
Hell yeah.
Sorry, you're like demonetized like crazy. My apologies, man.
No, no, it's okay. I had an LTD base too, like a real crazy looking one.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it had that weird shape. I ended up gluing studs on it and making it look real metal. Cause same thing, dude. Like I kind of grew up with new metal. So Mudvayne was one of my favorite bands and Ryan,
Oh
the bass
yeah.
player, I
It
had
was
a,
really good.
yeah, man, I was a hot topic. Kid, you could totally tell. Just I had the wallet chains and the big blue, parachute pants and stuff.
No, that's awesome, dude. I worked at Hot Topic from when I was 17 to 21. I worked at
Oh yeah.
like the two different, or Ingram Park Mall and North Star Mall. So it was like Hot Topic. Like it's funny. People still remember like, oh, dude, I remember you working at Hot Topic. I was like the goth kid with the Edward Scissorhands hair. But yeah,
Nice.
the LTD bases were cool. That was like, I loved that. That was, I had that. I put spikes on my strap. I had spikes all over the strap. And I think that you remember Sin 13?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
I broke that at Sin 13. I played in this like grindcore band called 13 Fatal Strikes. And
Damn.
we had a bunch of people jump up on stage and we were just going crazy. And I just remember getting knocked over and then everyone was on top of me. And the headstock of my bass was just like all sad. And you just saw like the strings, they looked like little,
Yeah. Oh
yeah,
man.
I was sad.
Do you think that San Antonio has any venues like Sin 13 anymore?
Dude, I don't know because I'm an old man. I don't go anywhere anymore. Plus, like we've had such a weird time with the past year. Like I don't know what like as far as what's really popular and what's really cool. I know it turned, or like the White Rabbit turned into the Paper Tiger,
Mm-hmm.
and then I know that there's like a couple of small bars and stuff. But I don't know. That was a cool fucking place, dude. Like it was like goth and punk. It was just like all kinds of cool like genres that just they all went there. You know what I mean? Like emo kids, punk rock kids, goth kids. Like it was so much fun. Like I remember we'd play a show and then like it was like 11 or 12 would roll around and then it would just be like a whole bunch of people like doing the scoop dance, you know what I mean? And they'd be like fucking doing the whole pulling thing. It was great.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Like Sin 13, I think was it was cool because it was really close to the strip, but it wasn't there. So like if you were there, you were there on purpose. You weren't just like
Right.
walking the strip.
Yeah. It was a little bit cooler than White Rabbit and like the other places over there. Like you went there for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
That was cool,
Um,
man.
when did you start like wanting to start a band or join a band? Like when was that kind of?
Um, like I guess like I started playing, but I just started playing. I played at church because I was like a church kid. So
Mhm.
like I did the church thing and the worship band, which is like as cool as that could possibly be, which is, I say that sarcastically, but I know some monster musicians that play at church. So like there's nothing negating how much of that's a really strong like musical builder. But I started playing with some homies. They needed a bass player. And my friends knew that I played at church. And that's when I started playing with that grindcore band. I was like 17 or 18. And it was just like, that was the natural, I guess I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't know if I was ready for it because I kind of was like, I didn't know how to learn. I just kind of like, I got a bass and I was like, all right, cool. There's a G. And I just was like, I learned just badly. I kind of like reversed it. I played for years before I actually even learned how to play actual like knew what to do on bass. It was stupid, but I just liked playing and being on stage and rocking out and being a dumbass and shit. It was fun.
Yeah, I feel the same. I'm kind of just grew up with like MX tabs and stuff, just looking at tabs and I didn't really understand notes or like what notes I was playing till like a few years in, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that when you started learning like notes and like scales and stuff, did that impact you like how you wrote your bass lines? Did you
Oh,
like
dude, exponentially, like learning to play, or like, it was kind of a weird thing because it's like, you know how like, okay, so you're saying you're playing by tab, you play by ear, you've been playing, like you learn stuff, but you don't know what it is. So you're just like, I like this is cool. Like after I started understanding the things that I was doing and the things that I could do in relation to that, it was just like, oh shit, like this is awesome. I get to like really, really learn a lot. When I started learning, I really tried to make a point to like learn a lot because I started like, I guess trying to learn musical stuff and being like more like theory oriented or like being more like just into more music when I started playing with some really like crazy musicians and I had to like catch up real freaking fast. It was like I kind of just played in my bands, you know, bass players can get by doing certain things. And then I started playing with these freaking guys that were just shredding. And I was like, oh no, I have to catch up to this really fast. but it was a fun learning experience. You know what I mean? And I guess it's a constant learning experience, but it definitely helped with playing and all the stuff.
How did you like learn your theory and just like scales and stuff? What was your kind of go-to method of learning anything new?
Like besides the traditional, like, I guess, like I got a book when I got like the Mel Bay bass chord book or bass book when I was a kid, and that collected dust and never really did anything. I started like getting into YouTube and like just looking at stuff and trying to like watch the people that I was like trying to emulate and like play like, because, oh, here you go. This is it. I really started learning after I started playing like professionally. It's weird. I started playing in a cover band, and they gave me this like 3.5 hour set, and I had to learn in a month. And I was like, all right, let's go. It was like right before I had my little girl. And I was working construction mostly, and I was like, I really need to hustle and make money. And I had this chance to join this cover band thingy, and I was like, dude, I can actually like make some money playing music, you know? Because before that, it was always like, I could possibly buy some strings, or like maybe we could get some tacos and have a shot, you know, like, oh man, that'd be great. But that made me like just dive into learning, because the guys I was playing with were crazy good. And then I was like just focusing on like assimilating every other bass player, you know what I mean? Like I was like learning Muse and Red Hot Chili Peppers and all these different bands that were like kind of radio like, but they still were really cool, like bass driven. So it's like, dude, learning all of that made me learn all of their styles. And then it's like Mega Man, you know what I mean? Like you learn their styles and you take them and then you use that for your own power. So yeah.
Hell yeah. That's a good analogy. I love Mega Man.
Dude, he's awesome, dude. That's like one of my favorites. I have like multiple Mega Man shirts I wear throughout the week. It's good stuff. I have a big tattoo on my leg. Mega Man X.
Man, that's awesome. Now I need to get a Mega Man tattoo.
Yes, dude. Yes. Which is your favorite Mega Man game?
Ooh, so I don't remember. I know it's on the Super Nintendo, and like I always remember the opening scene where it's like when they're on water and they're just like kind of.
Oh, dude, the Mega Man X, dude. If it's from Super Nintendo, Mega Man X.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah, I like all the like Nintendo ones as well, but that one like sticks out with like zero and everything.
Dude, the storyline. I remember being a kid and being like, oh man, Zero sacrificed himself for me. Oh my God. I have to, like the feels.
Yeah. Man, I gotta go back now. So when you're in the cover band, like how long did you last in the cover band, or how long was that a thing?
I've played for multiple cover bands for like, what is it? I started playing in cover bands right before my little girl was born, and my little girl is going to be 13 at the end of the year. She's 12 now.
Nice.
Doing that, like I actually still, like, I don't do it. I used to do it to survive, which actually was kind of it was a wonderful thing, because it was like, my journey in that situation, but it made me like hate playing certain gigs and like just get freaking burned out really hard. But I played in cover bands for like 12 years, like just consistently. I play occasionally with a few friends. I'm playing this weekend with one of my homies playing, I think we're playing a water park. And then I picked up a gig randomly for this like outdoor event. And it'll just be like a fun, chill gig, but it's like, I choose it and I get to do it and it's fun. But when I was doing it professionally, it was like, I would like be the booking dude. I had bought my own sound system, so that way I could bring sound for all my guys. Cause like if we had a full band gig, we would do that. Or like, maybe it was like a Monday and I needed to make some money. We would just play like a duo gig, and like me and the pianist would go, I'd bring a sub out and we would go rock. But it was cool. Cause like I played, like, how you see your Facebook stories? I got a Facebook story the other day, and it said like, you have now been in bars for 94 weeks straight. And I was like, holy shit, dude, that was my life, dude. That was like constantly, like every day, like 6 nights a week at a bar. But it was so cool because I learned so freaking much, and my chops were like, I miss my chops being as good as they were, dude. When I was playing 6 nights a week, dude, I would just like, if I didn't play for a couple days, it was like weird. My chops were just super on. I would go on tour and everyone would be like, we would be doing stuff. And like, man, I feel like I'm barely playing at all. Cause you go on tour, you're like 1 hour, all the whole day driving, setting up for that 1 hour.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, it's like, I need more than that. I got to play more than that.
Yeah, I can definitely relate. I moved to Austin to like try to do the music thing in Austin. Ended up joining a cover band and playing like I think we did like 4 or 5 nights a week, and so it was so cool because you get to play music and you get to play bass for that time. But then, just like you're saying, you get those gigs, and it's just like, all right, I kind of don't want to play this song right now, or like it sucks because then it starts becoming like a job, and so finding that divide
that balance, dude.
yeah,
it's a big thing, dude. It's like I have a really bad analogy for it, which is totally not exactly like kid friendly, but it's I think the best analogy for it. And I'm not going to go too descriptively, but I feel like it's like being a prostitute. You know what I mean? Like you're doing something that most people love. I love playing music. We wouldn't be playing music if we didn't, but we were prostituting ourselves out to a certain extent. And sometimes the gigs were awesome. You know what I mean? But sometimes you just had to suck it up and they're paying and you do your job. You know what I mean? It's not as enjoyable. But it was a really good experience to do that. I don't regret any of it. I'm glad that I got to fucking like learn all of those things, but it definitely, like you said, sucks the fun out of it. Or like you play any of those songs that just like you hated, like which is your favorite that you hated?
I was gonna ask you the same thing. So I think I don't know. Anytime we played like Pro Jam, I was kind of like, okay, I do it. But it depends. Like because sometimes you go to a bar and you play Pro Jam and everyone's like really like digging it. And then that also changes kind of like your feelings when people are jamming to it. You can get into it.
Oh,
more.
For sure.
But
yeah,
that's like the first one that comes to mind. Like we did real like I was lucky too because like we kind of did like reggae spins of things too.
Oh,
So like
nice.
that was like fun. Like we did like some Guns N' Roses, but like a reggae version of Knocking on Heaven's Door and stuff. But when
Dude,
we
that's
did
awesome.
when we did the straight rock, like sometimes playing Weezer, like Hash Pipe, like that's like the same thing over and over, which is fun. It's a fun song, but when you play it like
when you've done it like 20 times,
yeah.
No, for sure. That's the thing is it's like, I remember people would be like, you don't like that band? I was like, it's not that I don't like the band. It's just like, I don't want to play that song like 800 times. Like, so like between doing some of like the cover band stuff, one of the bands we had a solid like a corporate group. And we would play on the weekends. We would play like either in Dallas or Houston or like travel around for like parties and weddings. But during the week we would do live band karaoke. And oh my God, they're still playing. They're amazing. Like if you get a chance to check out the musicians in that band, like the guitarist is the guy I was talking about from earlier that was like, I had to have someone step up. This guy is like not even a human being. He's insanely amazing. Like he's just so freaking good. But they do the live band karaoke and like we had a 500 something song set list and we would have to know all of those songs. But then like one night someone's going to come in and like 3 people want to hear, they don't want to do Don't Stop Believing. And they're like, dude, I don't want to do Don't Stop Believing 3 times. Like that's a little bit excessive.
Yeah.
like it's funny because I had this massive distaste for Journey. And then I got somehow pulled into helping somebody with a Journey tribute band. And there's some really cool bass lines for Journey. It's just everyone listens to Don't Stop Believing. Like there's so many cooler songs.
Yeah, so, agreed. I saw Journey was probably one of the first like bigger concerts I saw at the Verizon Wireless Amphitheater.
Oh, dude, I bet that was awesome. I bet like people were freaking all about that.
I think it was the first show when they got their new singer.
Okay.
I forgot his name, but the one from YouTube.
Yeah, like they got like he was a karaoke singer or something. That's what at least the story. That's freaking cool, man. Like that's awesome. That's like you get discovered anywhere. That's like the whole like the magic story.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go back to you playing like original music. So after your grindcore band, like how did you move on, and like what was your journey through your live or your original music?
I played with 13 Fatal Strikes. That was super, super fun. It was a really cool band. I got pulled in as the bass player because the bass player moved to vocals, and that was a cool band because we played for like all kinds of like we opened with Under Oath, we played with like 18 Visions and Atreyu, like any of those cool bands at that time. It was awesome. We were generally there. And then I went and started working. It was when I was working at Hot Topic, I got introduced to these older dudes that played in this band. You remember Killswitch Incorporated?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. They had like all of the ads and stuff on like all of the things. I played with that band at the tail end of their stuff, which was pretty interesting. It was like a whole, like, I guess it's like goth metal. It was, it was cool. It was much more of a show. We'd have like dancers on stage, and like I was very much a partier at the time. So I wasn't really worried about much integrity of music as much as I was like, I got wasted and I did stupid stuff. But after that, I started playing with a band called Salvia Divinorum, which was like a kind of punk rock and roll band from Austin. And that was really, really fun. And then after that was when I kind of started getting pulled into covers, because I started playing with a band that was an original band and they did covers. So they did both of them. And then after that was a band that shall not be named because it was a terrible band name. It was a really, really bad band name, really bad. And then after I did that, I was doing covers, playing for a while, just staying busy. I've kind of like just kind of helped a bunch of people, like randomly with people would need someone, I would just go like play gigs with them. After doing some cover stuff for a little bit, I got a thing. Did you ever hear of a girl named Alyssa Bernal? That was one of the artists I worked with for quite a bit. And it was during the MySpace times. And I was like, you know how they had the bulletin board? Like the little bulletin. I saw a bulletin. It was just like randomly. It was like searching for a bass player and a keyboardist, national recording artist. And that's it. I was just like, okay, cool. And my old homeboy, he and I were like a team. He was a keyboardist and we played in multiple bands together. And I was like, dude, we got to go audition for this. And it was really weird because it was the first time I ever actually auditioned for anything besides like me knowing people or just going be part of it. And it was terrifying because we found out when we got there that it was for Interscope Records. And the guy that was there was this guy, Brent. He's super nice dude. He's a guitarist for Nerd. Freaking crazy cool jazz. He's like jazzy, like really cool guitarist. And they're all like, yeah, we're going to record you for Pharrell. Just, play the song. They had a chart. And I was like, look, me and Johnny looked at each other. We're like, okay, just play along to the chart. Cool. And they played the song. They're like, yeah, do it again. Okay, cool. We'll see what he says and just get back to you. And I was like, did you hear what I heard? You know what I mean? And he's like, they said Pharrell, right? Because we didn't know. They didn't say anything to us. So we went and then it was like a week of absolutely nothing, which was like the freaking biggest pain in the butt. But we got a call back, and then we played with that girl for a few years. They set up a whole like months of rehearsal. We did they flew us out. We had a tour bus and we did a nationwide tour, which was freaking cool. And then like towards the end of it was, I think, December. And I guess sometimes you know how stuff happens. The artist, she didn't really want to sign as many contracts as they were kind of putting in front of her. And she didn't sign the contracts, and her like manager dude shelved her basically. Which is such a bummer, dude. Cause she was like, dude, it was her manager has been on Forbes, like the actual cover of Forbes. He was the owner of Geffen, or not the owner, the CEO of Geffen Records. His name's Neil Jacobson. And I was like, dude, this guy is freaking business, dude. It's crazy. So we were like, he was gassing us up. Like, you guys are going to be touring the world forever. Make sure your families know that you guys are going to be gone. Like, are you going to be okay with this? Just gassing us up, dude. And then we toured. They took care of all kinds of stuff. And then like, they were like, yeah, after you guys signed the contract and stuff, the spring, we're going to go for another tour. And they just kind of like chilled. So me and Johnny were like, we got to hustle and do stuff again. So continued with the life stuff. And eventually I got met up with Nina and played with her for a few years too. And now kind of, I still talk to her quite a bit, but she's just kind of like held up. Her and her husband just stay home and they're doing their own stuff. So I know that she talked about doing some touring in the future, but now we're all kind of waiting.
Yeah.
So itching, dude, itching so much.
Same. It's crazy you bring up Alyssa Bernal because I went to school with her.
Dude, no way, really?
Yeah, she went to Holy Cross.
Yeah.
And like I remember like at that time because I was playing music, I was like, oh, like this is like real deal music, like real national level kind of stuff. And that's crazy. So like if you don't mind, like being a
Dude,
national touring artist, like is that something that people can like live off of?
That was some of the best money that I got as like a musician. Like we were on salary. It was like set up quite. I feel like maybe we might have taken advantage of it too much as like on our side of it because they told us, you guys will get paid like X amount for practice.
Yeah.
So we're like, we're going to practice 5 times a week. Like, is there like a no on this, so we just practice as much as possible. And then we had a salary and like a per diem, just like normal, you get a per diem, but it was decent. It was decent. But it was such a fleeting thing, dude. Cause like I said, they gassed us up. They like took us to the dinners. Like, like after we played, we went and we did like a whole music video and they flew us out for music videos. We did this huge freaking video. It's got like millions of views and stuff. And they took us to dinner afterwards. It's like movie stars, felt like famous and shit. Like I literally felt like I was on top of the mountain, which was awesome. But it's also, I guess, good because it made me recognize like, I got it. I guess I took it for granted at that point, but then after that, it was like, okay, I see what can be done. I see what can happen. You know what I mean? So it made me have a different perspective because like I went from touring in a van or to a bus to touring in a van. I was like, dude, this is a different experience.
Yeah.
But like, either way, like the first before that, it was driving in my own car. So it's, all different tiers.
Hell yeah. So while you're touring and stuff, like what was your go-to bass?
Dude, my Music Man. That's been my baby, dude. Like I love that thing. The music, we got that while my lady was pregnant with my daughter. I was starting to play with that band and he played with the 7-string guitar. He was all about the 7-string Ibanez. And I was talking to my lady. I was like, I can't do this. I was like, I can't do this drop D crap. It's not going to work. Like he has the low B. And I was like, it's either I get super huge. I remember talking to her and like having this conversation. She's like, we'll get you a 5-string. We'll figure it out. You know what I mean? We didn't have the money. And I was like, I don't know what to do, but I can't do this drop D crap if he's playing these low Bs. It just it was driving me insane. But I got that Stingray and that thing has been my workhorse, dude. I've taken it with me on pretty much every tour. I have a Conklin that I absolutely love, but it still is like there's something about that Music Man that's just like it's just so well rounded and solid. Like the tone, the way it feels, like everything about it. Like I just love that bass.
Yeah, man. The Music Mans are great. Like I got my daughter who's also 12. I got her a Music Man where like a Sterling.
Nice.
And even the Sterling version sounds like
dude,
so good. It was like inexpensive compared to other basses, and it's like
for real though.
I play it like so much because of it sounds so great. Like
for sure, man. I used to teach for a little bit between tours, and I would always recommend like because I would have my bass, and sometimes my students would have their bass, and they would have a hard time with something. I would like, hold on. Hand me your bass real quick. And they hand it to me like, oh dude, here, hold this, you try this, now play. And they're like, oh wow, this feels different. I'm like, yeah, it makes a difference having an instrument that plays well, compared. Well, also you remember being a kid. I'm sure that my action was like terrible when I was like a teenager.
So like high.
It was like, oh dude, you can put your whole finger under there. Yeah, I play with it super low. I like I like to put it like almost credit card, like a business card level, just barely touch. Barely touch.
Yes, same. When did you start getting into learning about like action and like just basic like base maintenance and setup and stuff?
I guess like just naturally, because I didn't have I've always kind of survived, if that makes sense. Like I before I met my lady, I was I like couch surfed and like stayed in different places, or like I lived in a like a trailer in a shop for a little bit. Like I was just kind of a mess, and I've always kind of been kind of a mess. So like I didn't ever take my guitars anywhere, but it started playing like crap, and I was like, I got to figure this out real fast. And it was one of those ones that I know I went back over and over again before it actually sunk in, like, oh, wow, like this is how you bend the neck. Like, you know what I mean? Adjusting the truss rod and stuff like that. And then of course, like probably, I guess, touring and playing, because you have to fucking maintain on your stuff, dude. Like I never got to have a guitar tech of any type. Like when I was on tour, it was awesome because we were international, but we were the low end of the totem pole. Like we were the bottom of the totem pole. Like they had we toured with Lifehouse and this band Chris Allen, and they had 2 tour buses each, one for their band, one for their crew, and it was us and then like 2 guys, which was our crew, and we all just did everything ourselves. So like we're just like, yeah, we're do it yourself kind of guys here.
Yeah.
It's cool. But it's definitely something that like I always would tell my students when I would teach. I was like, dude, you guys, it's important to understand and know how to do these things, because it's going to make you understand your instrument that much better.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so we brought up kind of like this pandemic and waiting to jam and stuff. I noticed you've been doing a lot of woodwork. How did that come about?
I've worked with my hands like since before I played music full time. I was an electrician, so I worked construction and stuff. And then between touring, I would Aaron Lee he used to be in a band called Faya. I'm gonna plug his band, the 501s. They're badass. The 501s. He's from 501s.
Okay.
But I would he's the person who actually got me contacted with Nina. To play with Nina, because I had filled in with him a couple times, and I would come in town. Whenever I was in town, I would go help him do just grunt construction work. So I got into contracting on the side, and I started seeing how much people were spending on their homes for kitchens and stuff. So I was like, dude, this is ridiculous. I can totally do this. I can build these cabinets. This is easy. So I started just kind of learning. And I guess a little bit before the pandemic, I was I needed a desk. So I built a desk for myself. And then I just started trying to get better and better to where I could make anything. I want to make anything. I want to now that I don't have to rely on music to where it's my bread and butter income and I'm whoring myself out, I can focus to have fun with music. But then I also want to be able to do something that I can do in tandem to where I can grow old. You know what I mean? I'm going to always play. I love the idea that Les Paul played until he was the oldest. He played a week before he died, right? Something of that nature. I love that. That's fucking beautiful. But at the same time, I don't want to be pouring myself out. I don't want to be the old guy playing at the stupid club that's they don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? I want to play when it's super fun and I'm enjoying it. You know what I mean? So I was trying to find ways to just keep myself, that make myself valuable, because I don't really, it's not that I have a problem with authority. I work well with people, but I just like being on my own and doing stuff my way. So it kind of works out to where I can just be in here and do stuff on my own, just make stuff. And, it's super artistic. I wish that I had found this stuff before, because I used to paint and make things, and all my guitars, I always custom did stuff to my guitars. And it's this is the most artistic form of craftsmanship. It's literally you know what I mean? It's art. And I love that. I freaking am enjoying the crap out of that. So I'm gonna start working with oh, dude, eventually I'm gonna make guitars. Totally. Yeah. That's everyone I know is when are you gonna start doing it? I'm it's a whole step, but I feel it's going to happen. And I'm going to make a pick guard cover for my Music Man. If you want a pick guard cover for any of your instruments, dude, I got you, dude. It's just, it's fun making stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's the feeling you get making something and giving it to somebody, or like I made a planter for one of my old lead singers,
Mm-hmm.
and like she was like, I was like, I'll just, you buy the wood, I'll just do it because I've never made a planter before. It'll be a fun experience. She was so happy. Like they were totally into it. I was like, it's a planter. Like that's awesome. Like it's no big deal. But she was so excited about it. Like it's just a cool feeling.
Yeah. I saw you like making, I think what ended up being a cutting board, but when I saw you, like it had that purple kind of wood in it, and I was like,
Mm.
oh, he's making a guitar. Like I was just
Yeah, dude, I would love to, man. It's funny too because my Conklin is Purple Heart, so like that's
yeah.
been one of my favorites. I was like, dude, this is so beautiful. And I follow some luthiers. There's this one luthier, Brady Muckleroy. He's a
Mhm.
phenomenal, if you bass player, dude, he's a phenomenal bass maker. If you get a chance to check out his stuff, you would definitely dig his things. But he's a local bass maker, and he had did a live series where he showed everybody how to make a neck through bass, and it's like I think he's on like episode 26. But he literally started off with the slabs. He's got a bandsaw. He shows you how to do the things. I was like, dude, I'm gonna sit there with some coffee and just watch this entire series because I want that. It's so cool.
That
But
that's awesome.
in time,
Yeah, in
I,
time for sure.
I'm gonna make skateboards too. That's actually the next
Yeah.
before. I feel like I can easily make a skateboard faster than I can make a bass, or it'll be easier for me to make a skateboard,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
That's exciting, man. It's just another like, I don't know, when you have like a passion to do something, just like there's always ways you can just keep climbing and learning and doing new
Right.
things like woodwork, playing music, whatever. There's always ways to expand. It's so crazy.
No, I
It's
feel
so
you.
crazy.
It's funny. I haven't had this much fun like learning stuff since I remember like really breaking into like I remember getting excited about theory when when I started understanding it, because at first I didn't, and there was like a spot right here, but once I understood it, I was just like, oh shit, this is awesome, and I just dove and learned as learned. So it's nice to have those waves of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool, and it's nice to have the monotony mixed up. Because like I'm so excited, I'm gonna play tomorrow with my homie, and I'm sure that I'm probably gonna play like Creep, or
Yeah.
something super super like. But it's gonna be freaking awesome. I'm so excited to
Yeah.
just play, man. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be cool.
Is this going to be your first show like in the kind of post-pandemic ish? Or have you still been gigging like here and
I've
there?
gigged a little bit. I've played like maybe 3 or 4 shows. Very, very minimal. Like it's weird because this past 2 years has been the like I've not played this little like in
Yeah.
over 10 years. It's so weird. Like the year before the pandemic, I had slowed down because I was kind of trying to weed out um I just trying to weed out from playing with certain people. Like I have
Mhm.
people that I love, and I have phenomenal musicians that I love. But you know how sometimes you'll have people that bring in their personal life, and it's like their personal life is maybe not they got some stuff they need to figure out in their personal life. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, I love you, my friends, but I'm going to separate from that. I don't really want to be part of that. So I've been very selective about who I've been playing with. So it kind of like was a very chill time. But I played
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 gigs. Just like I have a home dude, Daniel, that's a keyboard player. He's
Mhm.
phenomenal. You're talking about playing like the ska versions of songs.
Yeah.
He and I do stuff like that. He's crazy. He was one of the keyboardists for the karaoke band, and he does his own stuff now. So we'll play like little jazz-ish. I wish that I was a jazz player, but I need to still get that crazy good.
Yeah.
It's like a whole different level, man. But it'll be cool. I can't wait to play more often to where the pandemic's not as much of a thing, because it's weird. Like, have you played much, or is it weird going out for you?
So I don't really like, I haven't gone out since the pandemic. We did two live shows,
Uh-huh.
or two like live streams rather.
Okay.
So that's kind of like what we did. So we just had one practice before and then the live stream, because I'm in a band with 7 people.
Oh yeah.
So, like I love my bandmates, but also like, having like COVID and stuff, being potentially like getting COVID. We're real skeptical of even like doing that, but we did it just because we love to play.
Yeah.
But now everyone's vaccinated and we just had our first practice, and we're gonna like start looking for shows. I'm really like more like I just don't want to invite people out to big social gatherings
Right.
because I would hate to be the reason that someone got sick.
No, for
Um,
sure.
but now that vaccinations are, like you can walk in now at least and get vaccinated if you
Yeah.
chose to. Like now that there are more people vaccinated and stuff, I feel a little safer, but we'll
Right.
probably still give it like a couple of months or something. But we're trying to work on it because we started working on new music and now we're getting like the bug back and we're getting all
Right.
anxious to show it and everything. So, you know,
That's cool,
well,
man.
yeah. Yeah, it's been such a crazy time. Like even we're living through like a crazy time right now.
It's definitely weird, man. Like it like trying to like you're talking. You have a 12-year-old girl. Like our kids are like human. They're like full on human beings, dude. You know what I mean? Like not even just like not like kids aren't human beings, but you remember being
Yeah.
12. I remember distinctively being 12.
Yeah.
Like it's a whole different thing. So none of that stuff's happened. Like
Yeah.
it's my little girl is not really wanting to go to school next year. She like just doesn't. She loves doing school from home. She like knocks out all her stuff and then just chills out and rests. She's like, I don't want to go to school. I was like, well, it's kind of a thing. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of a thing. Like I don't if like maybe if I was home full time because I like I said I was homeschooled.
Mhm.
Like my up until ninth grade, I did 1 year of high school and then that was it. So like I totally could understand like wanting to be at home. I get anxiety. Like I'm very what is it like you we're around people, we play around people, we're around it's super social, but then like when I'm on my own I just kind of just go do my own thing. Like
Yeah.
I would like between sets I would go and just go in my car and like do my own, just chill out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's all kinds of action. So it's funny because I would never go out unless I played or like maybe see a show that I wanted to see. Like if it's a band I want to see, I'll go. But like I went out enough and got that fill when I played. So now I'm just really enjoying like not doing anything. Like
Yeah.
like I used the whole like pandemic as an excuse of like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, I don't want to go anywhere. Like I like being at home. Like I do my woodwork. I play video games. Like chill out and do stuff like that. But it'll definitely be cool to have some stuff happen in the future and get around people. It's weird because I didn't realize that the mask mandate was lifted, and I'm like went somewhere and I was like, what is happening here, man? No one's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's cool. I feel mysterious. Like I was like, dude, this is like I'm just gonna rock this forever, dude. Like, get real cool ones with valves and lights and shit.
Yeah. Hell
Be
yeah.
cool.
All right, you mentioned video games. What games do you play?
Oh, I'm a total nerd. Okay. Besides like going back as a child and being like all of the video games, I play like first person shooters. So I play I play PC. I gave my PS4 to my little girl. And I play Destiny a lot, which is hilarious because it's a fucking terrible game and I love it, but it's what is it? My friends, we joke about it. They're like, I hate this game. It's my favorite game. Like it's really weird, but I like, games like that, or like, I play Call of Duty with some homies occasionally, or like Valorant. Me and my little girl play Fortnite, which is hilarious because I love, like I get super toxic when I'm playing with my little girl. I'm like, teabag, come on, teabag, let's go. Like shoot their body. But we slay out. We have a really good time, man. It's a really fun time. But it's like, it's weird because it's actually kind of like, I guess, be all like intimate, I guess, vulnerable. I lost one of my ears last year. I had a tumor and I had surgery and they removed my ear. Like I have the actual ear, but there's nothing in there. So like the games that I love, like first person shooters, are a pain in the ass because I only hear one side, but I've not had hearing in that side for quite a bit. It deteriorated before they removed everything. But it's like games that are super sound aware, like Valorant or like CS:GO.
Yeah.
It's like I literally try to hug the left side of the map because I can't have someone sneak up. I can't, like, they'll be like, literally someone could run up to me and shoot me in the side and I won't know because I can't hear them.
Yeah.
It sucks, dude. So like my homies that I play with, they know, and like we're a tight group, so they try to help me out with it and stuff like that. But it is what it is. It was weird though because for the beginning part of it, before everything went away, I could still hear the bass in it. Like, you know how you have your cochlea, your cochlea feels like vibrations and stuff.
Yeah.
So like I could tune my bass. Like I could have my bass on my chest like that, and I could hear it in my ear because there was a tumor in there and it would like reverberate. So I could tune my bass without even being plugged in. I could just put it there and I could hear it. It was weird. I don't know if it's gone now. It doesn't do that anymore. But like I guess I could feel it this way, but it's a different thing.
That's pretty wild, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. Man, well, thank you so much for just taking time out to talk to me. Like it's awesome. It's awesome seeing you. Awesome hearing what you're doing.
Dude,
Where can
man.
people find you or listen to you?
Listen to me. I don't know. I need to step that up because I used to like, I had made a couple YouTube videos back in the day and things like that, but I just have always done recording for people. So I guess if you see Nina in the future, I'll hopefully be on tour with her if we're all together and everyone's like a full band. I have like my Instagram, Austin Valentine, and then I'm going to be doing some like woodworking videos, but I want to try to mix it up and have it be like kind of creative too, to where like I'm going to do like a skateboard video. I want to do some more like cover videos too, because I miss just having that be part of it. You know what I mean? Like not gigging as much makes it seem like you're not as much of a musician, but we're all musicians. It's our thing.
I feel that.
But hopefully you'll see me around. I'll be around. I'm here. So
cool, man. Again, thank you so much. I appreciate you joining, and I hope you have a good night.
Dude, you rock, sir. Thank you for having me, dude. You're awesome.
For sure, man. I'll talk to you later.
Later, man.